Get you guys to understand because it's obvious that the people that gave us artificial intelligence and quantum computing have ego problems that limit their capacity to think properly. Okay. Oh, otherwise we wouldn't be in this situation. They would have accepted the applied physics of the Lord's Prayer quite a while ago, and quite a while ago. And so there's obviously there's defects in the thinking. I didn't notice that I wasn't paying. Well, it's not that I wasn't paying close attention. I just they would bore me and confuse me with redundancy of certain things that just what's that got to why are we doing this And so it was like, I thought, well, this is ridiculous, so why are we still talking about this? Correct it, when, well, maybe you don't. But when something is correct, you do that. Okay? When something is incorrect, you stop doing that. So when they're using technology for mass extermination because they're not thinking and speaking and interacting correctly, you don't understand why we have the Transformers movies, why we have all the propaganda. It doesn't make sense, right? And so it's very difficult to to understand, to comprehend, why is this still happening? And the utter insanity of mass extermination operations. It makes no sense. You're not doing things correctly. You put the entire planet in chaos. You have people behaving completely irrationally, and then they keep doing it. Why are you getting in an airplane and flying across the world to discuss genocide over money with another psychopath? And then trying to use technology to keep you safe from the other psychopaths. Why is this still happening? Why aren't you just using your technology to live the Lord's Prayer, then stay in a house and garden and love and be kind and breathe fresh air and be healthy and meditate and do some yoga and watch out if, a baboon or some kind of ape shows in the backyard, like what happened with Krishnamurti, right? Whoa, right? And so, but just be patient, be kind, be intelligent, be good. When I see the people today that had the windows open and it was either a sister or a mom, I'm not sure, with the two toddles, and they were chasing the dogs, and the windows were all open, so I heard them. And they're so cute. Oh, you guys are so cute. And I just sit there and I just smiled, and I'm like, we really, when we need to do something, we need to do it. Okay, when it's not necessary, it doesn't need to be done. Okay. So when people need to drive somewhere, it's because it's necessary. And right now we're doing so many things that are not necessary because of egotistical interaction and expression through people with money and technology. And the reason why they're doing this, is because it makes them feel powerful. It's not because it's right. It's not because it's good. It's not because it's intelligent. It's because it gives them they have a brain chemical addiction, and it makes them feel powerful, like rapists. Okay. When you have money and you can walk in and you can get whatever you want, it makes you feel powerful. Okay. Now, when you walk into a room and there's a dance and you see a girl you want to be with and she's with someone else, then you realize, okay, she don't want to be with me. And she don't want to be with me. Why would I want to make her miserable by trying to make her be with me by saying money's valuable? And she says, okay, well, I want a lot of money to have all the kinds of manipulation of access to stuff because I'm stupid. And there's, you really sure you want to have, you really want to have children with that woman? Who was it that was Palawani told me about that? You think you really like her? Have you listened to her? It's like, yeah, it's true. She was the one that told me to listen to women. And then, and I was young and dumb and thinking with my genitalia. And what she basically said is, if you sit and listen to women, you can decide whether or not you want to engage in sexuality with this woman and have children with them. Okay. Well, what happens is what women do is women study men like Jeff Foxworthy talked about, and then they tell them what they want to hear. And then because of our society and economics and manipulation of economics, women get pregnant, have the child, and then take the man and say, now you will turn into Tyler Perry's bitch ass. And you're like, oh, fuck no. And then you're miserable because everybody else is like Tyler Perry. And you even contemplate suicide because there's no way to save the children from growing up to be like Tyler Perry and all the women on his movies, right? And that includes the men that are the eye candy too, right? Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Your fuck money is a damn brazoo, right? It's horrible, right? And you get people who's like, I'm a man, yes I am, and I can't help but love you so, right? Yes, I think I don't know if I have that. I may have that on my MP3. I think I should. I ain't heard it, but I'm pretty sure I got it because it's one of my favorites. I'm pretty sure I would have loaded it up on there, And Bron, just relax, man, Bronny. Just relax, bro. I can't really, I always liked the Spurs. I've always been kind of a Richard Robinson got drafted by the Spurs, and I've always liked the Spurs. Linda stopped rooting for him because they allegedly cheated the Suns, and I was like, they didn't cheat the Suns. The Spurs didn't have nothing to do with that ref doing stuff for gambling. That had nothing to do with the San Antonio Spurs. They were just a bunch of kids playing basketball. And the assholes that manipulate everybody with the money, so there's no reason not to like the San Antonio Spurs because of what happened with a ref causing the Suns not to be able to win an NBA championship possibly. So I was trying to explain that to Linda. It's like, Linda, this Spurs didn't have nothing to do with that. That Pop didn't have nothing to do with that. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard, whoever was playing back then. I don't think it was Kawhi Leonard. It was back when they had Matrix and Steve Nash and Mario Stoudemire and all that. And the Suns should have won the championship. And Linda was in Morenci, and they was rooting for the Suns. And there was when that thing with the ref, and I was like, they ain't got nothing to do with the Spurs. That just has to do with the corruption of Las Vegas and Atlantic City and Washington, D.C. You know what you should get mad at is voting for president. They ain't got nothing to do with the San Antonio Spurs. I was thinking, well, because when we went to the Spurs game during basic training, Milli Vanilli was all the rage, and they was playing the Vanilli songs all the time in between the things. We went to the Spurs, and the Spurs was playing Run TMC. Yeah, they were playing the Warriors with Timmy Hardaway and Mitch the Bitch and what's the other guy's name? The good shooter from St. John's. Chris Mullins, that's his name. Chris Mullins. They had a good team back then. Yeah, they were fun to watch. Very explosive. The Warriors. Yeah. Of course, San Antonio. That's when they started getting things turning around. I remember Willie Anderson. I think was on the team and. I can't remember. I think Golden State won the game. But we went to the game, and they gave us a little salute thing because we were there, and like at halftime, we had to stand up, and they gave us a little salute thing. And there were four of us. It wasn't for all of us. It wasn't just for the four of us. It was for all because we were out on our thing, and they would do that because it's a military town, make you feel all important, And stand for Lord's Prayer. Everybody's equally important. Nobody can manipulate anybody with stupidity to have people being in relationships that they feel stuck in because we got fucked in the head by stupid before we was even hit Jump Street, right? You know what I'm saying? But mass exterminations are a big problem, and the people administering them through technology are the reason why we're in this problem. And apparently they can't fix it. So, the spirit of King David, it says in all the books, is the one that's the focal point of fixing it. I'm very compassionate and I'm very merciful, but I'm not going to sit there and be treated like shit for standing up for Lord's Prayer while you don't. And I'm not going to be able to protect you and your family from you using technology to murder over money and then say God told you to do it. So you guys understand. And all you people that are atheists thinking you're hiding behind the Obama language genocide operation, you're using the same language and you're murdering over the same money with the same technology. So don't think your ass is safe just because you think you're a more honest liar. Okay, I love you. All right, peace.